so proud of everything you've accomplished in life, but nothing delights my soul more than watching you with your little girl, Vale.
I wanted to come on and, it's been 2 weeks since our mom was taken, and I just wanted to come on and say that, we still have hope, and we still believe.
It's the dead of night in a quiet desert neighborhood. An 84-year-old woman, frail, living with a pacemaker and daily heart meds, walks into her own home after dinner, locks the door behind her, and everything goes still. Then, at 1:47 a.m., her doorbell camera just dies. At 2:12 a.m., the system still picks up a person on the porch, but there's no video. She never paid for the cloud storage. 16 minutes later, at 2:28 a.m., her pacemaker app loses its connection to her phone. Or that was the last electronic signal her body ever sent. Blood on the front porch. Her phone, her pills, her whole life left exactly where it was. No suitcase, no note, no reason to leave. This isn't some random cold case. This is Nancy Guthrie, mother of Today's Show co-anchor Savannah Guthrie, taken from her bed in the middle of the night on January 31st, 2026. A masked man on camera, a glove found 2 miles away, 1,500 new tips after $1 million reward, a new ring footage that showed up weeks later, and almost 4 weeks in, still no arrests. The crime scene is being handed back to the family. The FBI is pulling its command post. And the one question nobody can answer is the same one hanging over all of us. Who took her? And why the hell hasn't anyone been caught yet? Welcome to one of the strangest, most frustrating disappearances we've covered in a long time. Let's get into it. An 84-year-old woman went to bed in her own home on the night of January 31st, 2026. By morning, she was gone. No struggle, no forced entry, no witnesses, just a little blood at the front door and a silence so complete it took 25 days. $1 million reward.
Savannah Guthrie just announced her family's adding an extra $1 million to the reward to help find her mother, Nancy. The combined reward now stands at $1.2 million.
This is the Nancy Guthrie case, and nothing about it is simple. If this is your first time here, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. We're breaking down every verified development the second it drops. Drop your thoughts in the comments, and if this story hits you the way it hits me, share it. Let's go. Before the FBI tip lines blew up, before the drone footage, before the $1 million reward and the national headlines, Nancy Guthrie was just a woman living quietly in the Catalina foothills outside Tucson, Arizona. 84 years old, 5 feet tall, brown hair, blue eyes, pacemaker, daily meds, the whole thing. She's the mother of Savannah Guthrie, sure. That's why this story went national. But that's not who she was day to day. What tells you who she really was? Every single Sunday she was on her church live stream. No exceptions. It was such a rock-solid part of her routine that the second she didn't show up on the morning of February 1st, the people who loved her knew something was horribly wrong. They were right. The last person confirmed to have seen her safe was her son-in-law, Tommaso Cioni. He dropped her off at the house right around 9:50 p.m. She walked inside. That part nobody disputes. What happened after that? That's where everything falls apart. At 1:47 a.m., her doorbell camera went dark. Not triggered, not recording, just gone. 25 minutes later, at 2:12 a.m., the motion sensor still picked up a person at the front door. But because she didn't have the subscription, there's zero footage. 16 minutes after that, 2:28 a.m., her pacemaker app lost its signal to her phone. That was the very last electronic trace of Nancy Guthrie anywhere. After 2:28 a.m., she simply ceases to exist on any system. She missed church. Family rushed over. And what they found inside set the tone for the entire investigation. Nancy was gone, but everything she would ever need was still right there. Phone, medication, purse, keys. Nothing packed. Was nothing taken like she planned to leave. And at the front entrance? Blood. DNA later confirmed it was hers. Forensic pathologist Dr. Michael Baden looked at the pattern and told Fox News it wasn't from a fall or an accident. Those droplets fell while she was moving, or being moved. He was blunt. This was an abduction. No signs of a fight inside, no forced entry. Just that blood trail leading toward the driveway, and an 84-year-old woman who vanished between the moment that camera died and the moment her heart monitor went silent. The Pima County Sheriff's Department opened the case. The FBI came in, and this quiet little neighborhood suddenly became ground zero for a federal investigation that's now stretching into its 4th week with 0 arrests. From the outside, it looked busy. Tip lines open, agents everywhere. But underneath, which cracks started showing almost immediately. The biggest one? They released the crime scene way too early. No tape, no real perimeter. Media and random people could walk right up. The sheriff himself later admitted, looking back, they probably should have held on to it longer. Former FBI agents have been pretty vocal about how much that decision hurt the case. Then there's the friction between the sheriff's department and the FBI. Public statements that created more confusion than clarity and delayed full federal involvement, sources describing tension behind the scenes. In a case where every single hour matters, that kind of static has a price. On February 10th, the FBI finally released the doorbell footage. You've probably seen it. Masked male, about 5 feet 9 inches to 5 feet 10 inches, average build, carrying a 25-liter Ozark Trail backpack you can only get at Walmart. A very specific, very traceable detail. Then they found a glove 2 miles away that looked identical to the one in the video. With DNA pulled, no hit in CODIS. DNA from inside the house. Mixed, partial, also no match. By February 22nd, they quietly confirmed they were now running investigative genetic genealogy. Powerful tool, also painfully slow. Over 23,000 tips had already poured in. No press conferences in weeks, and still no named suspect. The family had wanted to offer a reward from day one, but law enforcement begged them to wait, said it would bury the good leads. So they held off. Or then on February 24th, day 24, Savannah posted that video. Yellow shirt, $1 million family reward, anonymous tips to 1-800-CALL FBI. Within 12 hours, 750 new calls. Within 36 hours, 1,500. And the very next morning, investigators showed up at the house like nobody had seen in weeks. February 25th, 9:15 a.m. 2 unmarked white vehicles pull up. One guy slips in the back and stays inside for half an hour. Then at 10:08 a.m., the whole cavalry rolls in. Multiple black SUVs. With 6 or more people, plainclothes and suits, moving through the garage, around the pool, across the patio, straight to a little structure in the backyard that had never once been mentioned in 25 days of public updates. The casita. In the Catalina foothills, casitas are normal, detached guest quarters, basically a second bedroom outside the main house. Nancy had one. Here's what makes this moment so wild. Every single piece of evidence the public had heard about. The blood, the DNA, the doorbell footage, the pacemaker data, was all tied to the main house and that front door. The casita had never been part of the story. Not once. Until that morning. Drone footage caught someone walking out in blue gloves carrying something in their hands. A former FBI agent on Fox 10 that afternoon gave the standard answers first. New investigators getting briefed, prosecutors walking through, lab people coming back for context. All normal. And then he paused and said the part everyone clipped. The fact they're carrying bags of items out this far into the investigation, that's a little unusual. I'd be very curious what those are and what value they hold. A former federal agent. On day 25, calling it unusual. NBC News, citing 2 federal sources, said part of the activity was simply handing the house back to the family. They no longer needed it sealed as a crime scene. But those same sources admitted they couldn't, or wouldn't, say what else was going on inside. And the investigation kept moving. February 26th, new Ring camera footage from a neighbor just outside the original 2-mile radius shows vehicles right around 2:30 a.m., the night she disappeared. FBI reviewed it and said it's unrelated. The homeowners basically asked out loud, "Why the hell did it take you 25 days to even ask us for our footage?" A neighbor came forward saying they saw a suspicious man hanging around the property 2 weeks before Nancy vanished. Possible casing. That tip is now active. February 27th. Comcast vans at the house. People are wondering if they're pulling digital records tied to those device blackouts. The FBI has started relocating its command post and scaling back on-site personnel. The sheriff even floated the idea that Nancy may no longer be in the Tucson area. The language has changed, and this is now a long-term investigation. What exactly was carried out of that casita in blue gloves on February 25th? We still don't know. Did any of those 1,500 new tips point investigators straight to that structure? Still no answer. Was the casita ever searched with the same intensity as the main house in the first few days? Never addressed. And then there's the 7 words Savannah used in her reward video that almost nobody slowed down to really hear. She said their mom was taken from her bed. Not from the house, not from the property. From her bed. If that's accurate, it completely changes the picture of what happened inside that house on January 31st. It changes what the blood at the front door actually means. It changes the suspect's movements. It changes everything investigators should have been looking for from day one. Nobody has confirmed it. Nobody has denied it. It just sits there. Nancy Guthrie has now been missing for 27 days. But no arrests, no named suspects, no confirmed sightings. There was one hoax ransom arrest, a guy named Derek Colella charged for sending fake demands. But that connection ended there. Betting markets have popped up online. Speculation is everywhere. Law enforcement is warning people to stop interfering with the investigation. And somewhere in all of it, in the tips, the genealogy searches, the endless hours of footage, and whatever was carried out of that casita in blue gloves, investigators are still looking for an 84-year-old woman who went to bed in her own home and never woke up there. If you know anything at all, about where Nancy Guthrie is, call the FBI tip line at 1-800-CALL-FBI. It can be completely anonymous. The $1 million reward is still active. Share this video. Someone who needs to see it might be one click away. I'll be back the second anything breaks. Stay safe out there.